Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm actually just sitting in the nursery. This is a little sneak peek for you because I'm going to be actually finishing the nursery today, tomorrow, this weekend, and I'm making a big nursery reveal video. So that's going to be actually coming out the video after this one. So I don't want to spoil too much of the nursery, but as I am recording today's video, we're going to answer some questions that you guys sent over, and I figured I could just like take you guys through my day with me, answer the questions as I go through my day, and we'll kind of just hang out together today, answer questions and all of that. I actually have a haircut in about 45 minutes, so I'm gonna leave in like 30 minutes. Right now I'm setting up, I need to set up these shelves that I got from Amazon. I figured I could answer the first question while I work on setting up these shelves. The first question I got was, how are you feeling about YouTube in general as a career, etc.? So that is a great question. I definitely would say lately I've been feeling a little bit discouraged about my YouTube channel, to be honest with you guys. I feel like I am really trying to put out good content, and it's just been in such waves. YouTube is definitely a type of platform that really like ebbs and flows, but I also think that it's a type of platform where you really just kind of have to like stick with it long term. You have to make content for, I feel like, years and years and years, and be consistent for years to really see, you know, the benefits of being able to make good income from YouTube and being able to do it full time. Obviously, you know, I do have a good amount of subscribers, but I've talked about this on a lot of my YouTube income analytic videos where, you know, subscriber count doesn't really matter. What matters really is views, and I feel like lately my views have just been struggling, and I honestly blame it on having a video go viral. My side hustles video has like almost 1 million views now, which is amazing and awesome, and of course I'm so grateful for that because it really has, you know, helped me make good income from YouTube and helped me be able to pursue YouTube full time. But you know, on the other hand, it's like, well, a lot of my subscribers came from that video, and so when I post vlogs or Q&As or things like that, like the stuff that I really like making that's a little bit more personal, it doesn't do as well. So I just kind of go in this like back and forth feeling of, am I doing the right thing? Should I stick out YouTube? Should I keep going, or should I look for a job again? And it's a tough thing to answer, but I do love doing YouTube. I do love making videos. I think it's really fun. I feel like I'm okay at it. I feel like I'm decent at making videos and being interesting, making fun vlogs and stuff, and I think I just really need to, you know, make the content that I want to make the content that I'm passionate about, and I think the rest will kind of just like fall into place, hopefully. So on that topic, I actually got a question related to like work and all of that, and the question was, have you and your hubby made a final decision on whether or not you're going back to a traditional job? I guess the short answer is no, we haven't made a final decision, but also first shelf done. That was actually pretty easy. I just needed to screw a couple pieces together, so it's gonna go into the wall this way. It's a floating shelf, and so this little bar is cute, and it's a set of 3. Anyways, these are the shelves that I'm building right now. But going back, so short answer is no, we haven't made a final decision. It's like end of May now. I'm looking for jobs here and there, but obviously I've been a little busy with like getting the nursery together and that type of thing, and so I do still want to be looking for jobs, of course, but at this point, like if I were to receive a job offer or whatever, I would be looking to start in like October, just to, you know, give myself time with baby and all of that stuff. In the meantime, over these next like 4 months, let's say my channel really starts to pop off and get more views and all of that stuff, that would be amazing. That would be, you know, best case scenario. So if that did happen, then I would definitely not be thinking about going back to a 9-to-5 job. But you know, I think just from a financial perspective, things are a little tight for me and my husband right now, and it would be nice if I was making a little bit more money a little bit more consistently. So it's definitely very much a wait and see situation, but I would love to, of course, not go back to a 9-to-5 and just focus on YouTube full time. I will also just quickly add that if I did get a 9-to-5 job, I would love to continue to do YouTube. I would not want to quit doing YouTube, but I do think my content would probably shift quite a bit into truly like just like vlog lifestyle stuff, because you know, that's like fun and easy to do and something that I find exciting and interesting and entertaining, sharing my life with you guys. I do really want to like lean into mom life, mom blogger life, so probably will do that anyway. But if I get a 9-to-5 job, I would love to continue to YouTube. I would not intend to quit doing YouTube, and would probably just do a lot more like vlog style stuff, showing you guys my life, what it's like working a 9-to-5, being a mom, and all those things at once. So I don't know, like I said, we'll see what happens, but best case scenario I think would be that my YouTube channel just kind of starts popping off over these next couple months while I'm on my maternity leave. All right, second shelf done, and they're gonna be stacked on top of each other. And then the last one, a headband holder thing too. But it is like 10:35 and I need to leave for my hair appointment in like 10 minutes. So I'll answer the next questions from the car. Guys, I was gonna chat on the next question while I'm in the car. Here's my little haircut. It looks so cute. Just freshened up quite a bit and trimmed up and looks so much healthier. But it's so hot in my car right now. I need the AC blasting, so it's way too loud in the car to talk to you guys. So I will answer the next question when I get home. All right, so the next question was, tell us a bit about your love story with Chris. So I have employed my husband to help answer this question. It looks like there's a spot on the lens.
Yeah, clean it.
That's better. All right, so tell us how we met, our love story.
So Jess and I were both living in Seattle, and we had both signed up for steamyseattlesingles.com. One thing led to another. She super liked me, paid $15 to contact me on the platform, and I was like, I guess I could go out on a date with you. And yeah, the rest was history, you know, just she was so madly in love with me, and yeah, that's basically it.
Some people aren't gonna know that you're being sarcastic.
Okay, so the real story is we both worked at Amazon. We both were not on the main Amazon campus. We were on like a remote office that was kind of like at a different part of Seattle. Jess had just gotten a puppy and named Doodle, who's right underneath me right now as we speak. And my dog Achilles, Doodle and Achilles are basically best friends. And Doodle is super shy and scared to play with anybody but Achilles. So, you know, she messaged me and was like, hey, do you want to take the dogs out? And I was like, I want to take the dogs out with a hot girl. But yeah, that's basically how we met. You know, we started taking them on walks and whatnot, and you know, having an office romance. But it was okay because we weren't on the same team or anything like that. So we made sure it was okay with HR. Just kidding, we didn't.
Did not make sure it was okay with HR. Yeah, so basically our dogs made us meet, and I made the first move technically. And then we proceeded to talk and be friends for like almost a year. Not quite, like 10 months or something. So we met in like November, I think, right?
Yeah, November, I think.
And then the following, like August, we started dating. And then that was in August of 2017.
It's been all downhill since then.
And then you proposed in April of 2021. Newport, like near down Newport there. Beach area. And then we got married a year later in North Idaho on Priest Lake. Now it's 2024.
If anybody starts a website called Steamy Seattle Singles, I get naming credits. I want royalties.
Anything you want to add to our love story?
No, not at all. That's it. Nothing else. I barely know her.
All right, I need to get some editing done now, so we will check in on the next few questions in just a little bit. Okay, it is now about 4 o'clock and I have been editing since like 2 o'clock, maybe a little bit before that. So I'm taking a break now, and since I'm, editing YouTube, etc., I figured now would be a good time to answer some YouTube related questions. So the first one I got was, in terms of brand deals after monetization, how do you set your price as a small YouTuber? What is appropriate so not to be taken advantage of? I guess I would have to say that this really fluctuates so much based on your niche, how many views you get, your, engagement rate and all of those things. My biggest piece of advice would be to kind of just pick a number, go with it, and see what happens. You'll know if it's too low or too high based on how brands react to your brand kit, your PR kit. I really don't think that there's like a set standard or anything like that, but if, let's say you send out your rates to a brand, you quote like $500 for YouTube integration and they ghost you, then it's probably too high. And vice versa, you send out your rate, let's say you only charge $100 or something like that, and they're like, okay, yeah, sounds perfect. It might be too low. So a good kind of middle space is them trying to negotiate with you. Let's say you send your rate of $350 and they come back saying that they can do $300. This kind of gives me a realistic idea of what brands are willing to pay and also kind of what my value is to them. Don't be afraid to set your numbers a little high. I like to think that there's always going to be another brand reaching out, and it's okay if you get ghosted by a brand because your rate was too high. There's always something to learn from kind of how you interact with brands. brands, and of course managing it yourself is just a learning curve, and it is what it is. So that would be my 2 cents. Just kind of feel it out, pick a number that feels right to you, and see how brands react to it. If they immediately say yes, it's probably too low, and if they ghost you, it's probably too high. Another question related to YouTube was, interested to see how your side hustles in YouTube evolve after your child arrive. Any ideas about how that might look now? I'm sure it will change in real time, but maybe if you answered this before and then updated us after, would be good for those in a similar situation. So I guess obviously one thing to consider is those first like 3 or so months postpartum, I anticipate being in a true maternity leave, and for me that means really taking the time that I need to bond with my baby, be there for her, prioritize that as the number one thing. What I'm really trying to do and take advantage of right now at like 34 weeks pregnant is get as ahead of my YouTube schedule as I can. I think what I hopefully will do, like ideally I would love to have literally like 12 videos scheduled out, post 1 per week, and that get me through kind of this phase of newborn life. What I might do though is just start recording content as much as I can and actually send some off to like a contract editor or something to, again, try and help me get to that point of getting ahead of schedule. That's kind of the best thing that I can do for myself, especially because I do still need to be getting views, generating views, and getting income from my YouTube channel. Basically, to answer your question, right now I'm trying to prepare my channel so that I can kind of get through the initial maternity leave phase, those first like 3 or so months for me to be able to bond with my baby. As far as after that, what I would love to be able to do is kind of get back to how I am now, which is, you know, posting a mix of lifestyle vlog content with really high value financial wellness and things like that. Being work from home and stuff, I would be really taking advantage of nap times and things like that where I can, you know, hopefully be doing my editing or recording while she's napping, things like that. That's kind of how I envision it going. Would love to get back to a 2 video per week schedule, but I'm also kind of open there. But yeah, that's kind of it. Hopefully that answers your question. You also sent my second question that was an update on your corporate job search. Kind of answered that a little bit at the beginning of this video, but I will say I recently had an interview like loop set up, and I can't believe how horribly my job search experience has gone, you guys. Back in like last summer when I was really looking for jobs like hardcore, heavily having different interviews every other week, I was having the craziest experience with like getting ghosted or just different things like that where I just couldn't understand why a company just wouldn't even respond. And I just had that similar situation happen again. I had made it through an interview loop and I felt like it went really well, honestly. I was like, I think I'm gonna get an offer from this company and have to deal with being like, I'm pregnant and let's figure out, like, negotiate a start date or my maternity leave or something like that. And so I don't know if they saw my social media and found out that I was pregnant or something. Of course, I have no way of proving that, but either way, they completely ghosted me. So I don't know what happened there, but super bummer. So I was really excited about that opportunity. And that's kind of been the only lead that I've gotten. Now that we're in like mid-May, I am still looking for jobs, but I am gonna start putting on the application that I would start in probably October. That's kind of the update as of right now. So yeah, more to come on job search stuff. And then while we're on the topic of like YouTube and all of that, I got a question that said, were you hesitant to start YouTube? I will say yes, I was. I'm not like the most outgoing person out there. You can ask my friends and my family. I am a little bit more of an introvert, and I was like, I don't know if I really have, you know, the personality to be a YouTuber. Even still, I feel embarrassed or like imposter syndrome when people talk to me about my YouTube channel. Like when people tell me like, congrats on, you know, the success and growth that you've seen on your YouTube channel. I'm like, oh, thanks. I don't like talking about it. It feels awkward for me. I don't know. I just don't like that attention, I guess. And so I don't really feel like, you know, I am like the type of personality that you might normally associate with a social media person that's like super bubbly, outgoing, and all of those things. I'm a little bit more reserved, but I still love showing you guys like my life and my personality on my YouTube channel. So with that, I guess I would say like it was a little challenging for me to get started. I felt really awkward in front of the camera at first. Even if my husband was in the other room or something, I wouldn't like recording unless he was gone out of the house. I would be like, I want you to leave, go to the gym while I record, because I feel embarrassed, I feel awkward about it. But I've gotten so much more comfortable in front of the camera, I think, over this last like year and a half of doing YouTube and continuing to try and get better anyways. So no, it was not easy for me to get started on YouTube. It was a tough decision, but ultimately I'm really glad that I did it. I feel like I've been able to grow as a person. I've been able to learn so many skills about content creation and building a brand around yourself, your personality, learning how to communicate, you know, value information to people. I feel like I've learned a lot about about myself and just like content and marketing and stuff in general over this last year and a half, and I'm really glad that I did it. So I'm actually gonna switch gears here for a little bit. I need to do my little prenatal yoga flow, and Chris and I are actually in a birthing class that we take every Wednesday. It's for a month, it's for the month of May, and in that birthing class she has been talking a lot about this thing called spinning babies. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of spinning babies. It's very, very popular for just kind of like optimizing your physiology, your anatomy to get baby out. And now that I am like 34 weeks pregnant, by the time you guys are watching this, I'll be almost 35 weeks. I definitely am ready for baby to get out. I've been uncomfortable. I'm not sleeping well. I get heartburn every single evening, and it's just been a lot. And I'm kind of ready for baby to come out. I'd love for her to keep cooking until, 37, 38, 39 weeks, of course, but let's just say that can't come soon enough. So anyways, this spinning babies thing is supposed to like help with labor, help labor progress smoothly, help you not have to have a C-section and things like that. So I just bought it this morning, and it's basically, so far what I'm learning is they have this like yoga flow that you can do every day, or you should do every day, that is designed to help with labor and delivery. So I'm gonna do that next real quick. But since that's like on the health and wellness related topic, I actually got a couple questions related to health and fitness, so I wanted to answer those real quick. So the first one was, is it okay to take a rest day in between exercising? And I just have to say, obviously I'm not, a physical trainer or personal trainer or whatever, but the short answer to that is yes, you should absolutely take rest days in between your hard, intense workouts. It kind of depends on what your workouts look like, how intense they are, that type of thing. And actually the best thing that you can do for yourself is to actually take active recovery days, which would be a day where you're doing something really light like yoga, walking outside, going swimming, things like that, where you're still moving your body a little bit, but you're not doing like an excruciating exercise like you maybe are doing the other 4 or whatever days per week. Your body does need time to recover in order to heal and grow. So if you're trying to build muscle, you simply should not, should not, let's say, do bench press every single day, because your muscles don't have time to recover, heal, and therefore grow. So yes, take rest days in between your exercise days, but the best thing you can do is an active recovery, like I was saying, because it continues to keep your blood moving and continue to move you towards your fitness goals. And then the second question I got on like health and fitness, etc., is how do you not tempt yourself to want to go out to eat and not cook if you're tired? I think that's a great question. So I guess I would have to say meal prepping, meal planning. Chris and I like to do a big grocery haul on Sunday or whatever, plan our meals out for the week, so that way when we are tired after work or whatever on, a Wednesday night, it's easy to just like throw something together. We don't have to think about what we were gonna plan, what we were gonna cook. It's also smart to think about your schedule and stuff. So for example, we have that birthing class on Wednesdays. So right now it's like, okay, for Wednesday we need to plan like a really quick and easy meal. Maybe it's that we cook extra of something on Tuesday and have leftovers on Wednesday, that type of thing. So take the time to sit down and plan out your meals for the week. Buy stuff ahead of time so you don't have to go to the grocery store. Keep your meals simple, I would say, as well. And if you're super short on time, you're super tired, you could always do like an actual meal prep on Sunday where you actually cook things ahead of time, and then that way during the week all you have to do is microwave them. So that's another idea. But yeah, in general I would say like meal prepping, meal planning, so that it's a little bit more efficient when you're done with work for the day. After this, I have one more question to answer, and real quick I'm gonna do my little spinning babies, third trimester, yoga, etc. situation. So I'll show you guys a couple clips of that, and then I'll answer the final question. Alright, just finished my little spinning babies yoga flow. I did that. She wants to go swimming outside, even though she's already gone swimming today. Don't let her fool you. It was basically just like kind of a specialized yoga flow, I would say, that really targets movements intended to open your pelvis and position baby better. So especially helpful if you have a baby that's breech or not an optimal birthing position. So right now ours is heads down, which is good, but they do want, her to probably rotate a little bit as we get a little bit closer. So anyway, basically these exercises over the next like 6 weeks should really just help her move down into the pelvis, help labor progress smoothly. So I just wanted to quickly answer the final question question I got, which was, how has your mental health been recently? I would say there's a lot of pieces to my mental health right now. It's not just simple as things are going well or they're not going well or whatever. There's stuff like the fact that I am not sleeping super great with the pregnancy. That really impacts my mental health. I've found it makes me feel more anxious. It makes me more irritable and feel down and things like that. And so I have definitely noticed on days where I'm not getting very good sleep, especially if I'm having multiple days back to back where I'm not getting good sleep, I feel more anxious, I feel more down, I feel more irritable, all those things, and it's just not fun. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot I can do about the sleep situation because the problem that I'm experiencing is like getting heartburn in the middle of the night. I do take Tums for that, but that's kind of all you can do for the heartburn. Just not being able to get comfortable at night, not being able to be comfortable in bed. You can't lay on your back, and I'm very much a back sleeper, so that's been kind of hard. And then the belly is just kind of like big now. There's the belly. It's starting to get pretty big, and that makes it really hard to roll over in bed and just stuff like that. It's just hard to get comfortable basically, and then I have to wake up to pee all the time. So that's that. And I think in general, like, pregnancy hormones just are all over the place, and so it's just hard to really gauge like how my mental health is doing sometimes because I feel like there's so many factors playing into it that are out of my control really. But other than that, I would say I am feeling really excited for the baby. I'm really excited to be a mom and welcome our baby girl into the world. I am a little bit anxious about like her well-being, birth, labor, postpartum, that going smoothly. I kind of anticipate having a lot of postpartum anxiety, postpartum depression, so I'm like mentally prepared to experience that, but I'm sure actually experiencing it will be significantly more difficult. So I don't know, I just am dealing with probably a lot of like anxiety, but again, it's all mostly related to pregnancy. But then I'm also feeling really, you know, like excited about it, about the baby being here, holding her, all those things, and just ready for her to be here, for it to be, you know, end of June when she's gonna be full term. So I feel like I'm just feeling a mix of emotions lately. Overall, I guess I would say like my mental health, all things considered, is like not bad, but there's definitely some factors outside of my control, hormones, sleep, things like that, that I really, like I said, just don't have control over, that really do impact my mental health and my mood. So doing my best to get sleep, go to sleep early, sleep in when I can, take naps when I can, and I definitely notice a big difference when I actually get a good night's sleep. So just really trying to work on my sleep, honestly, you guys. But yeah, that's basically it. Those are all my questions. Thank you guys so much for sending me those questions. They were fun to answer, and it was fun to take you through a day. It was a normal day in my life. Got my hair done. That's not normal. I don't do that every day, but you know, just working, eating, hanging out around the house, hanging out with the crazy dogs that wouldn't let me do my yoga without them jumping into the middle of it. I'm gonna keep watching my Spinning Babies video that I paid for. There's some other tips in here, I think, for like not just like exercises, but other ways to continue to get baby into an optimal position. I really do not want to have a C-section, and I really do not want to have a difficult labor, so I'm doing everything in my power at this point to make sure my body is optimized to have a smooth labor. So I'm gonna spend the rest of the evening doing that, doing a little more editing. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for sending those questions in. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A, getting to know me a little bit better, checking in with me, life updates, etc. If you did enjoy it, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you have any tips, tricks, life hacks, comments, etc. for me, please leave them down in the comments. I love chatting with you guys down there. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch up with you next time.